Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Sunday Morning Qigong. We'll start in just a moment. Great to see some of your faces. If you can have your video on, it's pretty awesome to just be able to visually see all the people that you're practicing with. If your internet's not so great, then perhaps video off is better for you. But either way, you're practicing with many, many people this morning, despite being in different places on the planet. So just tune into that energy of, being connected to others. So I'm Nicole Lee. Many of you I know. Welcome back. For those of you that have been regular supporters and practitioners with me for Qigong over the year and the years. Some of you have been coming to my classes for a very long time. If it's your first time finding me and tuning in this morning, then welcome. We're going to start in just a moment. We're going to be practicing a contemporary, style of Qigong, style of practice. And some of it is Nicole Lee Qigong original this morning. So I hope that you enjoy the practice. My guiding principles, following what feels good in your body for you. So think of everything as just being a suggestion, okay? And slowing down, aiming slower, doing less, some of the principles of Qigong. So I always like to start on time. Most of you know that about me, that used to come to the studio or have been coming to my classes online. I tend to be a bit of a stickler for timeliness. One of my old friends back way before Qigong days used to refer to me, I like to think affectionately, as the Time Lord, because I'd always be complaining when people were late and I'd be left waiting for them. I think it stems from when I was growing up and my mum used to always be late coming to get me and I'd always be like the last kid there. So now I'm like this, stickler for timeliness. Anyway, most of you are here, I think, so that's wonderful. I'm conditioning you all into being Time Lords as well. All right, I'm going to step back onto the mat. You should be able to all see me. Just if you have your settings on active speaker mode, it's going to make sure that I'm the one speaking and it's nice and big on your screen, so you'll be able to see it clearly. If you're on a phone or something, it might be a bit more tricky, but listen, watch, and do, right? So I always give lots of verbal cues. So if you're even practicing with your eyes closed or your eyes partially closed, if you just listen, you'll be able to get a really clear idea about what it is that we're physically doing. Okay, so let's begin. Let's bring the feet together to what we refer to as bamboo in the wind. Okay, so just take a few moments and begin to soften a little, begin to sort of bring your awareness down into your feet and notice the connection you're making through the soles of your feet, through the pads of your toes to the earth. Right? And if you would like to, close your eyes or half close your eyes just for a moment and allow your awareness and your consciousness, your attention to turn onto yourself. And take a few breaths, perhaps some cleansing breaths. So maybe breathing out through the mouth a few times. We do this all the time, usually throughout our day we take these sighs. We might not be kind of aware that we're doing it, but it's a way that we help to release stress and tension. And Qigong, from that health perspective, from the medical perspective, is all about releasing the tension and stress from our bodies so that our Qi can flow more freely. Take a couple more breaths. We're not in a hurry. Whenever you feel ready to, from here, you're going to take your feet out and you're going to place them around shoulder width apart or hip width apart. And if you can, depending on your physical body and what's going on with it, see if you can place your feet straight and parallel, right? And then begin to soften. This is an entire practice on its own, and most of you or many of you know about it. It's called Qigong. So softening particularly the knee joints, moving the arms away from the sides of the body, so broadening through the shoulders, the chest, lifting up the top of your head so nice and long through the spine, fingers straight, pointing them down. Take another breath. It's nice to be so luxurious with our time when we practice Qigong. Let's open officially the practice with 3 opening of the gates, lifting the arms, palms are up, and we come up over the head, no stretching or anything like that. It's all nice and soft. And we glide the arms down, guide the arms down with the palms down in front of us, back by the sides deliberately, and then 2 more just like that. No rushing, no hurrying, aiming slower. See if you can begin to condition yourself into this very slow, deliberate, intentional way of being 3 times. Think of this as bringing all of your focus onto yourself for this time that you've put aside, signaling the beginning of that. Let's from here go to knocking the door of life, very fundamental. It's kind of like a helicoptering of the arms, and the back of your hand is tapping on your spine directly opposite your belly button, and your front hand is knocking on your leg gates, your hip area, just softly with the heel of your palm. You'll notice I'm not turning my knees, I'm not turning my legs, although I do have these big wide pants on today, so it might be a bit hard to see what I'm actually doing, but the knees remain soft, right? We want the twisting to come from the waist and the shoulders. Take a few more breaths out your mouth, right? Cleansing breaths. Keep looking straight ahead today, and we'll take the front hand up and we'll use the heel of our palm area to knock underneath the collarbones on either side of the chest, the outer part of your chest towards your shoulders, your lung 1, lung 2 points. You're still knocking on your spine, right? You're looking straight ahead, and you'll take a couple more breaths. And then you can stay here, or if you would like to, you can come up and use the heel of your thumb area to knock in towards the neck, sort of the trapezius area. There's some other muscles in there that tend to get really tight as well. So just giving them a little gentle stimulation through this tapping. You're still knocking your door of life opposite your belly button on your spine. Take a couple more breaths. Work your way back down. So give the lung points, the chest, a little bit of a tap a few times. Back down to the leg gates, the hip area. Take another breath. Then slowly, slowly unwind yourself. Nice and slow. Come back to stillness. Come back to softening and sinking. And then turn your gaze and look at one of your shoulders. Straighten your fingers deliberately. Push the foot down on that same side and lift your shoulder up as high as you can. Slide it up. And then once it's all the way up, turn your gaze and look up at your sky or your ceiling. And then let everything in that side of your body soften. You'll turn your head slowly around and you'll come to look at your other shoulder. Straighten the fingers, push the sole of the foot down, lift as high as you can, look up. No rushing, right? Just do it really slow, deliberately side to side. Push the foot, straighten the fingers, lift, turn and gaze up, and then soften and release everything. Keep going side to side. Qigong is very subtle. We're working more with intention and the energy body than we're working with muscles like we might in other forms of exercise. Of course, we're still utilizing muscles and tendons and joints, but it's quite different to yoga, for example, or some other kind of exercise. More subtle. Come back to look straight ahead. Lift your arms here, bend your elbows, have your palms face one another, elbows nice and high, a level of the shoulders or just a little bit lower, And then start to turn from side to side, holding your arms in this position. You're lifting your opposite heel from the floor in terms of which side you're turning to. It's your opposite heel that's lifting, not just lifting the heel, but pushing the ball of the foot deliberately down. Nice and slow, side to side. Take a few breaths. If you would like to, begin to twist a little bit further around and turn your head and look over your shoulder and behind you. See if you can keep the arms engaged in the same position, soft through the shoulders, which can be tricky when you're holding your arms up in this way. One more turn to each side. Come back to center. You're going to put both feet down, plant them down, lift your arms really high, have a stretch, and then grab a thumb, chin to neutral, shoulders down, knees soften, pull the thumb and lean over, ear towards the opposite shoulder or bicep. And then a big stretch and a look up, so actually stretching. Thumb on the other hand, soften all the joints, head back to neutral, lean to the other side. Reach and lean. Exactly what the name says. Reach, and then it should say soften and lean. Go from side to side a few times. Everything that we do in Qigong, whether it's contemporary or traditional practice, it's deliberate, it's intricate, it's precise. I've lost my microphone, so go one more to each side while I sort myself out. Sometimes it happens, it falls off my ear. And then when you've done one more to each side, a really big stretch, push your feet down and then bring your hands to the top of your head, look forward and feel down your body until you get to your lower back. Rub your lower back like you're giving yourself a little massage. Use your fingertips or your palms, whatever feels good. Come into your sacral area. We don't usually get a massage around that area. It feels really good. So give yourself a little massage around your tailbone sacral area. And then brushing or rubbing down, we're going to come into a forward fold. If for some reason you don't want to come all the way down, you could just take this position that I'm showing you now, which is like a little half bend, chin to chest. If you're good to come all the way down, you'll feel over the back of your legs or you'll rub down and you'll touch your feet and your toes and your ankles and your heels. And then you can just dangle yourself. You could hold your elbows if you wanted, but maybe just dangling and letting go. Take a few breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just see if you can really allow yourself to release. The chi of the body flows when we're able to release our stress and tension. That's the premise, broadly, of Oriental medicine, right? We want to release the stress and the tension physically, mentally, and emotionally. When you're ready, in either position, bend your knees and slowly unwind yourself. Come all the way up. Come back to softening and sinking. And then let's come into a little twist and flow. One of my favorites to do on a Sunday morning. We're going to twist across the body, push one arm to the opposite side, sink in the midline and twist and go to the other side. We'll go side to side. No rushing. You might coordinate it with your breath maybe. You'll notice that I'm not leaning. I'm just twisting and pushing across at the level of the shoulder. Like I said before, everything we do for each individual form, it's distinctive, intentional. Keep going for a few more. One more for each side. Come back to center, touch the palms together. You're going to open the palms and bring them down so they're shining in at your thighs, couple of inches away from your physical body. Then using your elbows, pull your arms up with the palms in. Once they come past your face, you'll look up and you'll flip your palms over so the palms are away from you. And then you'll bend your knees like you're sitting down into a chair and you'll drag your arms down. Look straight ahead. Keep looking straight ahead. Sense for your knee area and then work your way back up in the same way. Look up overhead and on the downward motion, just looking forward, no looking down, right? Sense for the knees or the thighs. If you feel like you can easily come down lower, of course you can do that, but no looking down, right? Usually when people start coming down lower, that's when the looking down happens. So keep your chest lifted, keep your gaze forward. You can come all the way down if you want and touch the floor, but just keep looking straight ahead. Straight ahead on the way down and up over the head on the way up. The tiger sitting in the grass. The sitting in the grass part is the coming down. We'll actually pause on the next one. So after you reach up the next time, you'll come down in the same way. I want you to bring your elbows and place them close to the inside of your knees and let your hands come down and hang and place them together. Look towards me and take a couple of breaths. One more time. Release. Put your bottom up in the air. Let your head come down. You're in another forward fold. Hang out for one more breath. And then slowly, 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 slowly unwind yourself. Once you're upright, take a breath and just close your eyes and feel yourself here in this moment. What's going on for you? Like if you just check in and take a little survey of your inner landscape, has anything changed since you started the practice? What does it feel like inside your body? A huge part of Qigong and using Qigong for your health and well-being is Qi sensitivity, right? Can you feel your Qi? What does it feel like to you? Take another breath. Let's take the feet together. So let's come back to bamboo in the wind. And let's interlace the hands and draw the interlaced hands and arms up over the head and turn the palms up. Look up and then bring your chin to neutral and turn and look from your underarm all the way down the side of your leg to your heel on that side. And then slowly come back to your straight overhead looking up. Pause, and then do the same thing on the other side. Go from side to side, nice and slow. No rushing. See how slowly you can move. Do one more for each side. Come back overhead. Draw the hands down in front of you. Turn them over. Keep the interlace, but let the index finger and the thumb extend. So you've made like an arrow. And then shoot your arrow up over your head and look up at it. Really extend and stretch through your abdomen. Then bring your chin to neutral and your arrow to the top of your head as you again sit down. Look straight ahead. Shoot up again. Extend and expand yourself upward. Then look forward, arrow to the top of the head, sit down. No looking down, right? It doesn't have to be a big bend. It can be very small, in fact, right? Qigong is like the opposite of many other forms of movement and exercise. We're not trying to take everything to the extreme. We're subtle in our practice. Do a few more. Look up as the arrow shoots overhead. And look forward as you sit. Try not to crunch down on your head. Just softly rest the hands there. Last one. Shoot your arrow up and look up. Release the interlace and radiate the arms down to the sides. Bring your head back to neutral so you're looking forward. And then once your arms are all the way down, take your feet and step all the way out to the horse stance. Not super wide like you're doing a warrior in yoga, right? Less than that, more subtle. You're getting the theme, I'm sure. Sink yourself down. Soften your body. Close your eyes. Take a couple of breaths. Join the palms back together. Feel them touching one another. And then lung meridian breathing. Inhale and peel your arms softly out, engaging your wrists a little, engaging your fingers, the index and the thumb particularly. Draw your arms back in, and as the palms touch, sink, and then work your way out again. Move uber slow, right? I want you to manipulate your breathing, right? So big, long, slow breath in. Even hold it for a moment and then super slow breath out. You can move at a different pace to me, but just see how slowly you can do this. If you're new to Qigong and you're finding that the pace that we're doing the practice is quite challenging, that's quite normal. In the beginning, people are like, oh God, it's so slow. Sometimes people are really deterred and they never come back to Qigong, or it takes them a very long time to find their way back to the practice. See if you can just notice that that's the response you're having. And then just keep choosing to be in the practice. Just do one more after the one you're doing now. This is lung meridian breathing. From here, open the palms, bring them down by the hips. One arm, in fact, can release by your side. You're going to do teacup Qigong, or sometimes called arm spirals. We bring the hand forward, the palm is up. We lean out and we bring the arm out to the side, behind, up and overhead, out in front again, out to the side again. We use the wrist to bend and move the hand and the arm past the waist, and we're back where we started. We're just going to do the one side. So forward, out and up, over the head, around and down in front, back out to the side, behind, past your hip, and you'll just start to find a little rhythm. If you've never done this before, it might sort of break your brain a little bit to begin with. Just be patient. Just be slow and gradual in your approach. We're using the joints of the elbow, the wrist, the shoulder to spiral. It's called teacup Qigong because we imagine that we have a little teacup on our palm and we're trying not to spill our tea. We're keeping our palm upright for the entire movement. And of course, if you were moving any faster, you'd definitely be spilling your tea. Keep going, just do a couple more for this side. And as you do these last few, notice your opposite arm and see if it's nice and soft and relaxed by your side. If it's not, allow it to be. The next time that you come back to the finishing position, take your teacup and give it to your other hand. You're going to do exactly the same practice. And if you're now on your non-dominant side, you might be like, oh God, it's even worse on this side. It's more challenging, it's difficult. Some of you have done this many times, and I'm sure you'll just be flowing with ease and grace. Notice the arm that's no longer moving, and just let it soften and release by your side. We'll do just a couple more for this side. One more repetition. Once you come out in front, you just let your teacup crash down to the earth. You'll stand and soften yourself and take a full breath. We're going to do one more form here in our horse stance. It's called waving the hands. Going to lift one arm up and bend the elbow and bring the palm in front of the face. You're going to look at your hand like it's the most incredible and fascinating thing you've ever seen. Whichever arm is up, you're going to shift your weight into that leg and move the arm out to the side. When you get to the side, you'll turn your palm away and you'll wave your arm down back by your side. You'll turn your head and you'll look forward. Then you'll lift your other arm in the same way and you'll slowly shift your weight across to the other side as you turn. The palm turns away, the arm waves down. Look forward, lift, and then move. Right? It's very distinctive. The arm waves, the head looks forward, the arm lifts, the weight moves. Turn, waving the hands. Find a little rhythm for yourself side to side. No rushing. I'm going to do a few more. One more for each arm. Once you've waved the arm down for the last time, shift yourself back to a neutral weight distribution. Step your feet in and come to your foundational form, standing basic standing. Soften and sink and close your eyes here or look down and just feel. Take a few breaths. From this point on, see if you can breathe primarily in and out your nose. And we're going to slow everything down. I'm going to talk less. And we're going to move into some really nice, slow, soft, fluid kinds of movements. Let's begin with flying. We'll lift the arms to the sides, no higher than the shoulders, and back down. Allow all the fingers to be softly straight. Up and down, up and down. That's all you're doing. Maybe you can coordinate it with your breath if that feels good. Find your own rhythm. You don't even need to be looking at your screen anymore. You can just fly and I'll let you know when we're changing. See if you can allow your awareness and your consciousness to follow every little millimeter of your movement like it's just sitting on the edge. Your attention is just sitting right on the edge of your movement. Just breathe naturally if that feels right to you. You don't have to coordinate anything. Keep going just for a little longer here. As we move into these slower and softer and more fluid movements, and we start repeating these movements over and over for maybe just a little bit longer than what we have been so far, you'll notice that your mind will get distracted. Your attention will go elsewhere. It's normal, it's natural for the mind to wander. Just keep choosing to be present when you notice that you're not, right? So just keep coming back, following the edge of the movement, noticing your breath and feeling yourself here in this moment. One more time, up and down. And then once your arms come down, you'll scoop up close to your body until you come to your chest. You'll turn onto one side. You'll let the foot slide out on that side so you're in a split stance, 45-degree angle. You'll turn your hands over and you'll push your weight to the front leg, bending the knee and pushing the arms out. You'll turn your palms over like you're receiving a gift. You'll pull your gift in as you lean your weight to your back leg. You'll turn your hands over and you'll give, right? Pushing your chi out, turning your hands and receiving back in, giving and receiving. Weight forward and weight back. We want to coordinate the movement of the limbs together, right? Synchronize. Nice and slow. It's called the coming and going of waves. Do 3 more on this side, nice and slow. Last time forward. Receive and pull back and keep your hands the level of your heart. Turn to face forward, withdraw that leg that's out there, and you'll slowly turn to the other side and you'll draw the other leg out just a little bit in front and you'll flow to the other side, giving and receiving on the other side now. Nice and steady and slow. A few more times. One more time. Keep hold of the chi as you turn to face forward. Withdraw your leg, and then you're going to take your hands and you're going to lean forward, palms facing one another like you're planting some seeds into the ground. Then you're going to lift your arms close to your body in that same scooping, collecting motion. Bend your knees, lean forward, and palms face as you plant your light rods down. You make this scoop up to the shoulders or a little higher and forward and down. Nice and slow. Keep going. Notice your hands and fingers, and we want the fingers to be softly straight, a gap between each one. We're going to do 3 more of these. Last one. You're going to gather in towards your dantian now. You're going to turn your hands over and throw some pebbles into the pond. You'll gather from the sides and in. You'll bend your knees and you'll push the hands and arms forward as you sort of sit down a little bit. Your hips move back. If I go to the side, you'll see how my body's moving in terms of my weight and my hips, collecting and scattering the pebbles. Pebble in a pond. It's like your hands are smoothing out the ripples from the pond, flat, facing down with the palms. Keep your chin neutral, keep your chest lifted, your throat areas like open so all the chi can easily flow. Those of you that are maybe here for the first or second time, probably getting a bit more of a appreciation and understanding of how intricate Qigong is, how much detail there is, how many sort of areas of distinction there are with each of the forms. Do a few more. One more time here. Let your arms come by your sides and come back to your soft standing form. You can close your eyes or look down just for a moment. You'll take a few breaths and just feeling, noticing your state of being. How would you describe your state of being, your experience of this moment? Take a few breaths. Bring a little smile onto your face. A tiny little smile. My inner smile is an outer smile these days, but it can be so small that it's imperceptible to others. It's one of the Taoist practices, the inner smile. I'm sure some of you know about it. It's an act of self-love and self-friendliness to smile at yourself. Let's bring our hands here to holding the pearl. One hand on top of the other, doesn't matter what hand is where. And then from here, we're going to lift up, and we'll cross over, uncross, and float down. We'll lift our arms to the sides with the palms facing forward, and we'll bring the arms up overhead. We'll look up, we'll bend our knees and sweep down really nice and soft and generous. The chin will come down towards the chest. We'll wind ourselves up. We'll bring our arms out to the sides like we're collecting chi, and we're pushing it down. We'll circle around again and place the left hand on top of the right hand. Take your left hand now and bring it out to the side and lean out, and then turn it and circle it all the way to the other side and up and over your head. Lean yourself back out and circle it all the way around so it comes and it sits underneath your other hand. Your other hand should be on top now, so it's going to come out. You're going to lean. Turn the wrist and then bring it back. Big, huge, soft circle, gaze following around and back underneath. Let's do the whole thing again. Lift the hands, cross, uncross, down. Palms facing forward as you lift your arms. Your gaze will come up as well. Over the head, shoulder width apart, palms facing forward. Bend the knees and wave down, chin to the chest. Unwind. Out to the sides like you're gathering the chi. You're bringing it down. Little circle around. Left hand on top of the right hand. Left hand beginning out, leaning. That back around into a really big, soft circle. Underneath the hand that's waiting in front of your dantian. And other side. I'm going to do one more repetition. Up, cross, turn, uncross, down. Palms are forward, lift the arms, lift the gaze. Arms overhead, palms forward, shoulder width apart, big bend in the knees, wave down, chin to chest. Roll up. Use the elbows to fan around and in towards the body. Down. Another little circle, left hand on top. Left hand begins, out, back, big circle. Underneath the hand that's waiting. And again, other side. Come back to holding the pearl. That's what you're doing now. And step your feet together, bamboo in the wind. And let's, as we come towards the end of practice, connect to, I don't know, you can call it lots of things. Your soul star, your north star, your higher self, God, universe. Let's start with the bottom hand. Let's bring it out and circle it out to the sides and up over the head. And point up. This is you connecting yourself to whatever that might be. Then like you're drawing that chi, that energy down, right down the middle line of your body. And that hand's going to come and sit on top of the other one. And then your bottom hand should be the other side. Up we go. Nice and straight and tall but soft point. And down. You're pulling that energy in. You're connecting to the earth. You're drawing all of the chi around and up to connect to something bigger than yourself. And you're drawing it in. Do a couple more. See if you can slow these right down so they're the slowest of all your Qigong practices this morning. We'll do two more, one for each side. Once you're holding the pearl again, at the end, just take a pause, take a couple of breaths. Notice how you're feeling, what's present in your experience. Release your arms by your sides. Deliberately point the fingers down to the earth. And now we close our chi gates 3 times. Make these the slowest of your forms. It's like you're gathering all of your chi, all of yourself, every fiber of your being, all of your energy, and you're consolidating it, you're bringing it down, and you're centering and grounding yourself 3 times. Intention is everything in practice of Qigong. In Qigong as spiritual practice, as a practice for health, as a practice for life. Right? Everything is about the the intention. We hold it lightly, right? Like no efforting, as Abraham Hicks would say. Some of you would be familiar with that. Holding it lightly. After the third one, cover your dantian. So one hand on top of the other, touching your physical body below the navel, soft knees, crown of the head lifting. We've come to the end for this morning. Almost the end. Stillness is a very important part of Qigong. So now is the time for you to take a little bit of stillness or maybe a lot of stillness. At a minimum, 3 long, slow, intentional breaths. Smile at yourself. You deserve it. Have a beautiful Sunday. I hope you're feeling vivified. I don't know if you saw my email, but it's a word I came across and I thought, oh God, we all want to feel that way, surely. Vivified, it means kind of to enliven, elevate. Anyway, bye for now. Have a beautiful Sunday until next time. Thanks for being here.